Hi guys, so it's Shin here and I want to make another video on talking a topic that's recently very controversial. So I've been scrolling through TikTok and I've been going through a couple of videos, and recently there's been TikTok videos on Asian fishing, and I was a bit curious since I made the fox eye trend and I wanted to see what the deal was and if it was as controversial as the fox eye or even worse. I'll be breaking this video into parts. The first part will be just me talking about the situation, and then the next part will be what the community, my community, thinks of the situation, and lastly what I think and the conclusion of the whole situation. So basically, what is Asian fishing? So according to Urban Dictionary, Asian fishing is an act of trying to look like you are part of an Asian descent, and usually is more of a East Asian descent. It is seen as offensive to Asians because we grew up all these years being made fun of for our eyes being small, slanted, our nose, our face, etc, etc. So one way to differentiate Asian fishing from just using a inspiration from our culture is that Asian fishing is a way where you intend to change your features to look more like Asian features. Does that make sense? One thing I've realized that a lot of people who have done or accused of Asian fishing is that most of them, their style and their makeup is heavily inspired by Harajuku type of style, which is what e-girls are kind of inspired from. And a lot of time these people who have was accused of Asian fishing are those who purposely change the way their eye is by drawing their eyeliner, putting their eyelashes in a way, etc, that looks more like Asian eyes. And there have been people who broke down the differences between Asian fishing, dolly eye. So in this video I kind of want to break it down and make it easier to kind of like make a easiest rule, differentiate Asian fishing from just normal inspired look from different cultures. So the way how I differentiate Asian fishing from just being inspired by certain cultures, whether it's Japanese Harajuku or Lolitas or Korean fashion from the K-pop kind of sense fashion, is that a lot of time when you're inspired by a type of style or trend, you are more than welcome to use that trend. However, a lot of the time is when you use these trends, you make it unique for your own race instead of copy and pasting legit what you see onto you. Does that make sense? So one example is that this girl on TikTok that I saw, she is a perfect example of using inspiration from a trend, from a culture, but making it on hers, and she is in no way of changing her shapes of her eye, the shape of her face, or anything to look Asian or like the girl in the picture that she was using a reference from. And what Asian fishing is going past the point of just using a type of trend from a culture as inspiration to the point where you are basically copying the eyes of, like, the face, what they look like and everything from the race, the ethnicity of that trend. So now on the community. So as I was scrolling through TikTok and just to do some basic research and see what everyone thinks before I form my own opinion, is that a lot of the community is mad about it. And when I say mad, they are mad. So some of the things that some people were mad about of those who Asian fished was that they not only made the face look more like us Asians, but they also dressed and act in a way to kind of like conform to and promote this ideology of fetishizing the look and the stuff. So they would put their makeup on and turn themselves looking very Asians and very kid-like, and wearing like really cutesy but very sexualized clothings. And some of them were also made OnlyFans to promote and get money from it, and the community aren't happy with it because Asians has been associated with submissive and in a way with the most famous yellow fever, and where white people fetishize us Asians because we're small and we're supposed to look submissive and cute. Also, I'm just gonna put some videos of what people said because I genuinely think that I can't fully word things properly the way that they want to, so there you go.
The problem in racism actually lies in what's done while dressed like an Asian person. People are making OnlyFans and doing live streams dressed up as fetishized versions of Asian people and profiting off of this. You put real Asian women and young girls in harm's way by perpetuating these disgusting stereotypes of Asian women, by dressing up as them, and performing in a way that white pedophiles would want Asian women to perform.
A lot of people have asked me to talk about this girl, who is not Asian, but frankly looks more Asian than I do, and has a literal anime wall, so let's not pretend we don't know what's influencing this. I'm not going to talk about how I feel about this because I've already done so in previous videos. What bothers me though is regardless of intent, you look Asian or inspired by Asia at the very least, and have millions of viewers for it. Let's say this is fine. What's not fine is you use this to sexualize yourself while dressed as a school child, while dressed as a toddler wearing a Care Bears onesie, which means that you, among so many others, are literally training your millions of viewers to associate Asian women with sexualized children. In the 19th century, little Chinese girls were sold as sex slaves, and Chinese women were banned from the country because they were all assumed to be prostitutes. 2 months ago, half a dozen Asian women were killed, and to this day, grown men move to Asia to try and fuck little girls. Non-Asians get to profit off this image of a sexualized little Asian girl, while actual Asian women get to suffer for it. You get the fame and the wealth. We get the violence and the trauma. You don't have to deal with the consequences of your actions, but we do.
So what I think of the situation, this is another type of situation where is it really a controversy or are we being sensitive? In a way, I genuinely think that there is a need to address this type of situation just because we are getting out of hand where what we can use as trends and what we can use as aesthetics and what kind of things have the right to be gatekept. I genuinely think that when it comes to fashions and trends, that type of things should not be gatekept, as that's just how we use fashions and stuff to express ourselves. But if you use it in a way where you are trying to like change your race in a way, but if you use these type of things when you go overboard, like I said, and you go past just using it as a trend, like you liking K-pop makeup and stuff, or Harajuku or Lolita and stuff, to a point where you want to turn yourself into a different race, that's where the problem comes in. Because race and our ethnicity is not a trend for people to just grab and use. However, you guys are more than welcome to use our fashions, use the way like to put makeup and stuff. And I guess it's like there's a lot of people who also are confused about it, and now they're like, oh, I guess I can never wear eyeliner or makeup again because I'm offending people, blah blah blah. The thing is, the fact, again, like I want to reiterate, is that it's not the fact that you wear your makeup and stuff, it's the fact that of the intent of trying to look like a different race that's we're having a problem with. And I've spoken to some people about this on their opinions, and they all agree that using trends that, you know, that we have set out for you guys to use, such as again K-pop styles, makeup, Japanese, etc, etc, you are more than welcome to use. But it's the fact that when you go beyond that, and if you are going out your way, even if you have no intentions of hurting a community but you're still doing it, if a community is coming out and tell you, hey, this is kind of bad because we have been oppressed and now you're wearing our like suffer, kind of like the things that we've been through that has hurt us as a trend, as a makeup, we're not okay with it, then you should understand and even look into it and even ask yourself, talk to people from the community of how they think and stuff. And for those who lied about their race to try to like get away with Asian fishing, there's a big problem, like a deep complex problem within you that you should really go and see a professional to look at, because that is really, it's a big problem. It's a big problem. It's really bad, honestly. So some people are defending Asian fishing, saying that, oh, but you Asian people have been using stickers on your eyes to make double eyelid. First of all, that's a stupid statement, just because double eyelids does not only exist in Westerners. Asians have double eyelids naturally, and there's different type of double eyelids. If you guys can tell, Western people are more associated with like an open double eyelid, while Asians have double eyelid and we have more of a closed eyelid. So like the fold kind of fold over there and then it opens. Well, my one's very tiny, so I'm probably just gonna put photos that's actually better in the case what I mean. And so that is a stupid ass statement and stupid ass way to actually try to defend Asian fishing. So just to kind of like put everything all in one place and conclude this video. So Asian fishing is bad. Don't do it. Don't pull your eyes. Don't mock Asians. Don't wear our face, basically. You guys are more than welcome to use our clothing, use our makeup techniques, and apply it to your body, your face, and stuff. Don't copy and paste. Don't copy and paste. And the only Asian fishings we are supposed to do is these. So yeah, I genuinely think that this is a bigger controversy than the fox eye, and it should be addressed, because with the fox eye you can get away with saying that it's just a makeup, and like I said, that there's nothing wrong with the makeup because it's just makeup. But it's when you use it in a way and pull your eyes kind of thing without being aware, that's what a lot of people that I'm assuming that's participating in Asian fishing are just simply unaware, and I guess ignorant, for those who were told that there's doing something that's making us as a community uncomfortable. It's just weird. Imagine looking around and then you see every race looking like you, and you know they modify by just using makeup, and at the end of the day they do not bear the burden you have to go through. They don't have to bear anything that you have to go through years and years growing up and being told that you look ugly for having the eyes you have. Then suddenly it becoming a trend and aesthetic is kind of like slap in the face, most of all, to a lot of us Asians. And I can call us sensitive or not, but we have every right to gatekeep our genetics from being used as a aesthetic or trend. Again, feel free to use our cute clothes, use the way how we do our makeup, but please, 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 please don't make don't make up eyes on you, man. Like there's so many of, like, even with my own eyes, some of these Asian fishing people literally look Asian, like Awasian, if not Asian. And it's completely like ridiculous that even some people think it's acceptable that this is happening, and it thinks it's okay. It's just like harmless fun. Yeah, it's harmless fun for people who do it, but it's not really harmless fun for us on the receiving end as Asians, as we, again, been through so much shit growing up in the society we do. And so I guess this is a situation where we hope people who are being educated with it actually understands and take the time to really understand why we are saying it's a problem. And there's always, again, like, you don't need to do your makeup in a way that you have elongated your eyes or make it hella elongated and slanted like us, but still look like you're doing it like an e-girl look or Harajuku look. There's absolutely no reason for it. And there was one girl I know that was also accused of lying about her ethnicity while doing Asian fishing, is the fact that she is heavily inspired by anime and she's a massive K-pop fan. And as you can see, K-pop makeup is very, 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 very like minimal. A lot of the time it's very simple and very, very minimal, but the way she drew her eyeliner and her makeup is in a way where it's obviously extended and in a way slanted, and she has been exposed of editing her photos on Instagrams to make her eye smaller or her eyelid fold smaller and more imitating us Asians, which there's just a lot of things wrong with it. And I hope this video is kind of help you guys understand what's going on, and let me know what you guys think in the comment below, whether you think if Asian fishing, or if these girls aren't doing Asian fishing, obviously. But then again, one thing I also want to talk about is please, 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 please do not go after people who you think is Asian fishing when we as Asian community don't agree that it is. Because there are cases where some people have been going after people on behalf of our community and accusing people of Asian fishing when clearly majority of the community disagrees that it disagrees. So yeah, I hope this video helped in any way and made a bit of awareness what's happening, and